There are things in this world that money can't buy. This video isn't about those things. Tonight, we're stepping inside a world where a single car costs more than a skyscraper, where wait lists last longer than marriages, where speed, beauty, and power collide to create machines that make grown men weep. 10 cars, 10 stories. One question: what does it feel like to own the impossible? This is Elite Drive. 6,000 feet above sea level, where the air is thin and the roads are merciless, this is where legends are tested. The Porsche 918 Spyder, $1.9 million, 887 horsepower, half of it summoned from electric motors, the other half from a screaming V8 derived from Porsche's Le Mans race cars. In 2013, Porsche told the world that the future of speed was hybrid. Nobody believed them. Then, the 918 shattered the Nürburgring lap record. 6 minutes, 57 seconds, and the conversation was over. Only 918 were ever built. Today, they trade for well over $2 million at auction. But numbers don't capture what this car is. Up here, above the clouds, with nothing but the sound of that engine and the road ahead, the 9118 isn't a car. It's a meditation on perfection. Some cars are designed to be beautiful. The Lamborghini Veneno Roadster was designed to be feared. $4.5 million. 9 built. And not a single one was meant for the faint-hearted. The name Veneno means poison in Spanish, named after one of the most aggressive fighting bulls in history. A bull so dangerous, it killed the matador. That's the energy Lamborghini poured into this machine. 750 horsepower from a naturally aspirated 6.5-liter V12. No turbochargers, no electric assistance. Just raw, unfiltered Italian fury. Look at it. Every angle, every edge. It's designed to slice through the air like a blade. The Veneno doesn't ask for your attention. It demands it. It threatens you with it. Most of these 9 cars are locked in climate-controlled vaults across the Middle East and Asia. Their owners don't drive them. They worship them. And honestly, standing here, watching lava glow in its reflection, I understand why. Somewhere beneath a private residence in Monaco, a car sits in a room that most people will never know exists. The Bugatti Centodieci. $9 million. 10 built. Named in honor of Bugatti's forgotten masterpiece, the EB110, the Centodieci is a love letter written in carbon fiber and quad-turbocharged fury. On 600 horsepower from the legendary W16 engine, 16 cylinders, 4 turbochargers, 1 singular purpose: to be the fastest, most beautiful tribute ever created. Cristiano Ronaldo reportedly owns one. So does a member of the Saudi royal family. When you join this club, you don't just buy a car, you buy a seat at a table with 9 other people on Earth. That's it. That's the whole guest list. The Centodieci doesn't attend car shows. It doesn't need to be seen. It exists for an audience of 1, its owner. And in this room, 60 feet underground, lit like a museum piece, spinning silently on its pedestal, it looks less like a car and more like a throne. On the Amalfi Coast, beauty is not a destination. It's the road itself. And today, something extraordinary moves along it. The Pagani Huayra Codalunga. $7.4 million. only 5 exist. Codalunga means long tail in Italian, and that extended rear isn't just aesthetic. It's an homage to the great racing prototypes of the mid-60s, the cars that howled through Le Mans with tails stretched toward the horizon. Horacio Pagani built this car by request. A small group of his most loyal collectors came to him and said, "Give us something that has never existed before." So he did. Every surface, hand-shaped. Every bolt, titanium. The interior smells like aged leather and ambition. The Mercedes-AMG twin-turbo V12 behind your head produces 828 horsepower. But power isn't the point here. This car was built to make you feel something, to remind you that machines can have souls. Watch it disappear around this bend, the Mediterranean sun painting its tail gold. And tell me you didn't feel that. Tell me that wasn't beautiful. Here's what nobody tells you about the world's most expensive cars. The price tag. That's the easy part. The real cost is time. Years on a wait list. Decades building the relationships, the reputation, the net worth just to be considered. Some of these cars, you can't buy them. You have to be invited. You have to be chosen. The next 5 cars on this list, they don't just cost millions. They cost a lifetime. And for the people who own them, every second was worth it. 304 miles per hour. Say it slowly. 304 miles per hour. On August 2nd, 2019, Bugatti test driver Andy Wallace climbed into this car, the Chiron Supersport 300 Plus, and did what no production car had ever done. He broke the 300-mile-per-hour barrier. At that speed, you are covering the length of a football field every single second. Your tires are rotating 4,100 times per minute. The air hitting the windshield is pressing with the same force as standing on the roof of a building in a category for hurricane. $39 million. 30 built, 1,578 horsepower from 8 liters of W16 Fury. But the number that matters is painted on its spine in burnt orange, 300 plus. That's not a spec. That's a declaration. Bugatti looked at the laws of physics, looked at every other manufacturer on Earth, and said, "We win." Here in the desert, under 1,000 floodlights, with nothing but flat earth ahead, this car isn't driving. It's flying without leaving the ground. Lake Como. The place where European aristocracy has come to disappear for centuries. George Clooney lives here. Versace built a villa here. And somewhere along these shores, behind gates you'll never see, one of the 3 rarest cars on Earth sleeps in a garage with a view of the water. The Pagani Zonda HP Barchetta. $17.5 million. 3 built. HP stands for Horacio Pagani, the man himself. He kept one. Let that sink in. The creator of some of the most extraordinary automobiles in history looked at everything he'd ever built and said, "This is the one I'm keeping." 789 horsepower from a naturally aspirated V12. A body carved from carbon titanium, a material so advanced it was originally developed for spacecraft. And that roofless design, the Barchetta, means little boat. It was designed to be driven with the sky above you, the wind in your hair, and absolutely nothing between you and the sound of that engine. 3 cars, $17.5 million each. In a world of mass production and algorithms, the Barchetta is proof that some things are still made by human hands, for human hearts. And here, on Lake Como, with mist rising off the water and the V12 humming like a hymn, you feel it. You feel all of it. Paris, midnight, the city of light, asleep. And on the most beautiful bridge in the world, a shadow moves. Not a car, a shadow. Because that's what La Voiture Noire is. It doesn't reflect the world. It absorbs it. $18.7 million. One of one. When Bugatti unveiled La Voiture Noire at the 2019 Geneva Motor Show, the automotive world stopped breathing. It was, and remains, the most expensive new car ever sold. Inspired by the Type 57 SC Atlantic, a pre-war Bugatti so rare that one of the 4 originals has been missing since 1938. Rumored to be buried in a collapsed barn somewhere in France, La Voiture Noire is Bugatti's attempt to recapture that lost ghost. 1,500 horsepower. 2 years to hand-finish the body. A price tag that could buy you a fleet of Ferraris, a penthouse on the Champs-Élysées, and a small island combined. But the owner didn't want any of those things. They wanted this. One car. One bridge. One midnight in Paris. And you know what? Looking at it right now, rain falling, the Eiffel Tower shimmering in the distance, this black phantom gliding across stone, I think they made the right choice. On the French Riviera, money doesn't whisper. It sails. It docks in harbors that charge more per night than most people earn in a year. And yet, on this marble quay, surrounded by $100 million super yachts, every E is drawn to the car. The Rolls-Royce boat tail. $28 million. 3 exist, and it might be the most outrageous automobile ever conceived. Watch this. The rear deck opens like wings. Inside, bespoke hosting suite. A champagne cooler that rises on command. Crystal glassware designed specifically for this car. A parasol, yes, a parasol, that deploys at the push of a button. Rolls-Royce didn't build a car. They built a cocktail party on wheels. Each boat tail took 4 years to create. 4 years. Every element, from the wood inlays to the color of the leather to the specific champagne brand stored in the cooler, was designed in collaboration with the client. This isn't manufacturing. This is couture. This is what happens when the world's most prestigious automaker looks at a client and says, "Tell us your dream, we'll build it." And here, as the Mediterranean sun drops below the horizon and the champagne catches the last light of day, this car doesn't just compete with the yachts behind it. It outshines them all. Before we reveal the final 2, I want to ask you something. What is a car worth? Not in dollars, in meaning. Is it the engineering, the hours, the hands that shaped it? Or is it something else? Something you can't put on a spec sheet. The feeling when you turn the key. The sound that fills the cabin. The moment you realize that someone, somewhere, poured their entire life into building this one thing. For you. The last 2 cars on this list cost more than anything else on 4 wheels. But their real value, it can't be counted. Only felt. Let's finish this. There is a rose, the black baccarat that blooms so dark it appears black in certain light. It's rare, it's delicate, and it's the most beautiful thing in any garden it touches. Rolls-Royce looked at that rose and said, "We're going to build a car that feels exactly like that." The La Rose Noire Droptail, $30 million, the most expensive Rolls-Royce ever created. Every detail, every single one, was inspired by the black baccarat. The exterior color shifts from deep crimson to absolute black depending on the light. The carbon fiber weave is left deliberately visible. Rolls-Royce wanted you to see the raw material, the skeleton, the truth beneath the beauty. The rose gold accents aren't plated, they're solid. The headliner replicates the night sky above the client's birthplace on the night they were born. This isn't a car you drive, it's a car you inherit. It's a car that belongs in a story, in a novel about old money and midnight gardens and things that bloom in the dark. Right here, surrounded by 10,000 roses under a full moon. The La Rose Noire doesn't look like it was built in a factory. It looks like it grew here, like it's always been here, like it was waiting for someone to finally see it. We're in Stuttgart, Germany, below the Mercedes-Benz Museum, past security checkpoints that rival government buildings. Behind vault doors that weigh more than the car they protect, sits the most valuable automobile in human history. The 1955 Mercedes-Benz 300 SLR Uhlenhaut Coupe, sold in May 22 for $142 million. $142 million. The highest price ever paid for a car, and it almost never left this room. Only two were ever built. They were the personal cars of Rudolf Uhlenhaut, Mercedes' chief test engineer and one of the greatest automotive minds who ever lived. The man used to commute to work in this car, at over 180 miles per hour on the Autobahn. His colleagues would hear the engine coming from miles away. An inline-8 engine with mechanical fuel injection, producing 302 horsepower. In 1955, that was spacecraft territory. For nearly 70 years, Mercedes refused every offer. Billionaires begged. Collectors pleaded. The answer was always no. This car was family. It was heritage. It was the soul of the brand. Then, in 2022, Mercedes made a decision that shook the world. They sold one, privately, quietly, to an enkel buyer whose identity remains unknown, $142 million. And the money was donated entirely to fund scholarships for future engineers. Look at it. Silver paint that hasn't faded in 7 decades. Gullwing doors before gullwing doors were famous. A shape so perfect that modern designers still study it. This isn't the most expensive car because of horsepower or speed or rarity alone. It's the most expensive car because it represents something bigger, the moment when engineering became art. When a man built the fastest car on Earth and drove it to work like it was nothing. Some things are priceless. This is one of them. And as these vault doors close, and the light narrows to a sliver, and the 300 SLR disappears back into the darkness where it lives, you realize you weren't watching a car. You were watching history breathe. From a Swiss mountain pass to a Parisian midnight, from volcanic fire to moonlit roses, from $1.9 million to $142 million. These 10 machines aren't just cars. They're proof that human beings can create things that transcend logic, Transcend money, transcend time itself. If this journey moved you, subscribe. We do this every week. Next time, we're going somewhere even more extraordinary. Until then, drive elite.